Ladies, let me tell you something that might just change the game for you. When a woman knows her worth, she becomes powerful in a way no man can ignore. She stops begging for love, for time, for attention. She stops waiting for a text back, stops checking if she's too much or not enough. She walks like she belongs in the room, speaks like her words matter, and loves herself like it's not up for negotiation. And let me be real with you. That kind of woman, that's a woman a man can't replace. See, the problem is too many women are out here shrinking to fit into someone's limited vision, dimming their light so it doesn't outshine a man who ain't even trying to glow. You were not put here to shrink. You were not made to be convenient, to be easy to deal with. You were made to be powerful, to be purposeful, to be unforgettable. But that starts when you stop apologizing for who you are. I know the world has tried to convince you that you need to change to be loved, that you need to lose weight, talk softer, want less, expect less, tolerate more. But the truth, the real truth, you are already enough before anybody try to convince you otherwise. A woman who knows what she brings to the table doesn't chase a seat, she is the table. And when she walks in a room, everything shifts, not because she's loud, but because she's grounded. You don't have to prove your worth to someone who truly sees you. That's the thing. When a man sees a woman who knows who she is, who's not swayed by every little compliment, who doesn't need constant validation, he either levels up or he falls back. Because a woman with standards will always intimidate a man with no intentions. Some women settle because they're afraid of being alone. But let me say this plain, being alone and being lonely are not the same. Being alone can be powerful when you use that time to heal, to grow, to rediscover what you love, what you value, what you deserve. And when you start to truly value yourself, your energy changes. You stop entertaining people who don't even deserve your hello. You stop breaking your own heart by holding on to someone who doesn't treat you right. A woman who knows her worth doesn't compete. She doesn't compete for love, for time, or for attention. She doesn't need to. She knows that love is not a prize you have to earn by lowering your standards. It's something that should rise to meet you. And if it doesn't, she's willing to walk away with her dignity intact. Let me talk to the ladies who've been through heartbreak, who've loved hard and got played, who gave their all and got crumbs in return. I see you, and I want you to hear me. What happened to you was not a reflection of your value. It was a reflection of what they were capable of. Don't let someone else's inability to love you properly make you question your worth. Don't wear someone else's failure as your identity. When you know your worth, you move different. You don't chase, you attract. You don't beg, you expect. You don't stay silent to keep the peace, you speak up because you are the peace. And let me tell you something. When a man meets a woman like that, a woman who is rooted in her value, who's full of grace but doesn't tolerate disrespect, he knows he can't play with her. He knows she's not here for the nonsense. He knows that if he doesn't step up, he'll miss out. And not on just any woman, but that woman, the one who stood out, the one who didn't need him, but chose him. And that choice, that's where the real power is. So stop apologizing for being strong. Stop apologizing for having standards. Stop apologizing for knowing what you want. Your worth was never meant to be hidden or watered down. Own it, walk in it, and watch how the world responds differently when you do. Peace is priceless. It's more valuable than beauty, more powerful than charm, and more lasting than physical attraction. A woman who brings peace into a man's life That's the kind of woman who stays on his mind long after she's left the room. Not because she's loud, not because she's demanding, but because she knows how to make a man feel calm in a world that's always in chaos. Men face pressure all day long from work, from bills, from responsibilities, from the weight of trying to be the man. And when he comes home, when he finally rests his head, he doesn't want to walk into more tension. He doesn't want to walk into criticism, drama, arguments over nothing. He wants peace. That doesn't mean he wants silence. That means he wants to feel safe emotionally, spiritually. And when a woman knows how to provide that, that man knows he's found something rare. Now don't get it twisted. Peace doesn't mean you never speak your mind. It doesn't mean you let everything slide. A peaceful woman isn't a passive woman. She just knows how to communicate without cutting. She knows how to correct without crushing. She knows how to express herself without turning every conversation into a battlefield. See, a woman who brings peace has mastered the art of emotional intelligence. She doesn't react to every little thing. She picks her battles. She knows when to speak and when to be still. And that stillness, that grace, that's powerful, because a man will remember how you made him feel, even more than what you said. Drama may get attention, but peace earns respect. Anybody can start an argument, anybody can throw shade, but it takes strength, wisdom, and self-control to create an atmosphere where love can actually grow. You can't build anything healthy in the middle of chaos. Love can't breathe in an environment full of yelling, accusations, and insecurity. You want a man to stay? Create a space that feeds his soul, not just his ego. And I know some women think, well, he brings the drama, and that might be true. But here's the thing, you get to choose how you respond. You can either match his chaos or stand so firm in your peace that he has no choice but to level up or leave. Because when a man sees a woman who refuses to operate in dysfunction, he knows he has to meet her where she is or risk losing her altogether. And don't ever think your peace is boring. Some people are addicted to chaos because it's all they've ever known. But peace, real peace, that's magnetic. That's healing. That's unforgettable. It doesn't mean every day is perfect, but it means the love between you stays grounded even when life gets crazy. You want to be the woman he can't replace? Be the one who speaks life into him when the world beats him down. Be the one who listens without judgment, who holds him accountable with love, not condemnation. Be the woman whose presence feels like exhaling after holding your breath all day. That kind of peace can't be faked. It comes from a woman who's at peace with herself, a woman who's healed, who's whole, who's not looking for a man to complete her, but simply to complement her. Because when you've got peace inside, it spills out around you, and that energy, that vibe, that's what keeps a man coming home. That's what makes him say, I can't lose her. The most powerful kind of woman a man can love is a woman who keeps evolving. I'm talking about the kind of woman who never stops growing, never stops learning, never stops becoming a better version of herself. She's not stagnant. She's not stuck. She doesn't live in the past, and she doesn't let comfort zones turn into cages. That kind of woman, oh, she's unforgettable. She's the one a man keeps chasing even after he's already got her. Because every time he looks up, she's leveling up. Let me break it down for you. When you first meet somebody, everything feels exciting. The conversations are fresh, the laughter flows, the spark is hot. But eventually, life kicks in. That new car smell wears off and the relationship starts to feel real. What keeps it alive is not just attraction, it's evolution. It's both people growing, expanding, pushing each other to do better and be better. A man can get used to pretty. He can adjust to sexy, but he can't ignore a woman who keeps rising, keeps surprising him with her depth, her vision, her ambition. A woman who's always evolving never runs out of value because she's constantly adding to herself. One year she's reading new books. The next year she's learning a new skill. Maybe she's getting that degree she put off. Maybe she's opening her own business. Maybe she's deepening her faith or healing parts of herself that were wounded for years. Whatever it is, she's never sitting still, waiting to be chosen. She's moving, and if he wants to be in her life, he's got to move with her. Now, let me talk to the ladies who feel like they've been stuck. You've been doing the same thing, seeing the same results, living the same cycle. Baby, you were not made to stay in the same place forever. You were not created just to survive. You were meant to expand. Life is not supposed to be a loop. It's supposed to be a journey. And just because someone else is comfortable staying small doesn't mean you should shrink yourself to fit next to them. Sometimes you outgrow people not because you're better than them, but because you're finally growing into who you were meant to be. And that's okay. Don't apologize for evolving. Don't hide your shine just because someone else is afraid to glow. A man who's truly for you will celebrate your growth, not compete with it. He won't feel threatened by your evolution. He'll feel inspired to grow right along with you. I've seen it too many times. A woman starts improving herself and suddenly the man she's with starts acting brand new. He gets insecure, starts pulling back, starts trying to make her feel like she's doing too much. That's not love. That's fear. And a woman who knows who she is doesn't let fear lead her. She keeps moving. She doesn't slow down her destiny for somebody who's not even sure if they want to ride. Here's the truth. When you evolve, you elevate the kind of energy you attract. You stop pulling in people who just want to waste your time, and you start connecting with people who want to build, who want to grow, who want to thrive. You start showing up different with confidence, with direction, with purpose. And that version of you, that version is powerful. That version is magnetic. You want to be the woman he can't replace? Be the woman who refuses to stay the same, not because she's not enough, but because she knows she's capable of more. You don't need a man to complete you. You need one who's excited to grow with you. A real one will see your evolution and say, let's go higher together. And the best part, when you evolve, you don't just change your relationship, you change your life. You start making better decisions. You start walking in rooms like you belong. You stop needing validation because your value no longer depends on someone else's opinion. That's real growth. That's the kind of woman that commands respect without ever raising her voice. That's the woman who becomes unforgettable. Keep evolving, keep investing in your mind, your heart, your dreams, your goals, because the woman who grows, she glows. And when you glow from the inside out, you become the kind of woman who can't be compared and definitely can't be replaced. If you don't love yourself first, you're always going to be chasing love that never feels enough. You're always going to be settling for halfway affection, almost effort, and maybe next time promises. Loving yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. Because when you know how to love you, you teach everybody else how to treat you. You set the tone. See, too many women out here are giving their hearts to men who don't even like themselves. You're pouring from a full cup into a man who's walking around cracked and empty, and then wondering why you feel drained. Baby, it's because you skipped the most important step. You forgot to love yourself first. When you love yourself, you move different. You don't tolerate nonsense. You don't beg to be chosen. You don't chase people who walk away from you. You let them go. Not because you're cold, but because you respect yourself too much to stay where you're not valued. A woman who truly loves herself stops asking, why didn't he pick me, and starts saying, why would I want someone who couldn't see my worth in the first place? That shift, that's power, that's growth, that's freedom. Loving yourself means you know what makes you happy, and you don't wait for a man to bring that happiness. You create it. You wake up and smile because you know you're walking in your purpose. You don't need constant attention to feel good about yourself. You know you're valuable whether you're single, dating, or married. Some women think love is about sacrifice. And yes, love requires giving, but never at the cost of yourself. If loving him means losing you, that's not love. That's a warning sign. Love should add to you, not subtract from you. And if you're the only one doing the work, the only one carrying the weight, that's not a relationship. That's a rescue mission. You don't need to be rescued, you need to be respected. And that starts with you respecting you. You can't expect someone to give you what you haven't first given yourself. If you don't honor your time, your energy, your peace, then you're going to attract people who treat those things like they don't matter. Self-love is boundaries. It's standards. It's saying no when it's hard and walking away when it hurts, because you know staying will hurt even more. It's looking in the mirror and saying, I deserve more than this, and actually believing it. A man can't complete you. He can support you. He can build with you. But completion, that's your job. That's your inner work. Because if you hand someone else the key to your happiness, they'll always have the power to lock you out of it. And here's the kicker. When you start loving yourself the way you've been loving everybody else, you glow different. You attract better. You speak clearer. You stop playing small. You walk away quicker. And trust me, that glow, that peace, that confidence, a real man sees it and knows he's not dealing with a woman who needs to be saved. He's dealing with a woman who chose him, not because she needs him, but because she wants him. And that kind of love, that's the strongest kind there is.